and I was just focusing and listening to both of them. And amazing, I think there is a lot of things what as a country in India what we are doing. So during this startup summit, so ma'am has not been, has not told that I'm also running an organization which is more as a part of an ed tech industry. We have recently launched a model called Super 77. It's a very beautiful story of Super 77. So I'll just touch upon that because that is more relatable to most of you. As far as PenCap is concerned, I've joined PenCap. It's an NBFC, and we are purely into business loans as well as um, supply chain financings. Apart from that, we are also coming up with two new ventures. One is the fashion e-commerce company, and second is the last mile delivery logistics company. So apart from all these things, but Super 77 is very close to my heart. In last 6, 7 years, I've been to the colleges, given more than 153 guest lectures, and people gave me a name called Human Charger. More than 150,000 students I have addressed. And during all these journey, I've seen that there is a huge difference between what exactly we are studying in colleges as a part of a domain expertise, the technical knowledge and everything. But at the same time, there is a lack of soft skill as well as the life skills. And because of that, when the COVID started, and I was giving all these online digital sessions to multiple colleges, and all these students, they started talking to me and they started saying that they are facing a lot of problems and in terms of anxiety, overthinking, irritation, frustration. And that is how we thought that, based on again a popular Hindi Bollywood movie called Super 30, I just created this concept along with 9 other powerful speakers, orators, as well as the CEOs of different companies, who we thought that we will start guiding people, especially the young generation, and try to explain them the power of life skill, the power of soft skill, and that will actually help our young generation to get into not looking for a job only, but at the same time, they should get that level of confidence to do some kind of a startup. When we were doing Super 77 with 77 students whom we identified, selected from 35 different universities, we were taking a lot of surveys, and in the survey we found that only one student out of 77 said that he wanted to join his father's business. Otherwise, 76 students said that they want to get into a corporate world. They want to get into a corporate world to start their job. And that is how the journey started. And we have, motivated them to get into a startup. Why to look for a job? Why can't we look for giving job to the people? So, ma'am, if you can just allow me, it's a very quick 5 minute story and presentation. If I want to share, I
Yes,
don't know
yes,
if I
sir.
can share. Yeah.
Please, please do. Professor Saurabh, Dr. Saurabh, please.
Please share your screen, sir.
Okay, I'm just doing it. Okay, I hope it is visible.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
it is. Yes.
All right, guys. So this is called Super 77. The tagline what we have given is
Mr. Amit Pandey, I think we have lost him.
I think he lost the connection.
Yes, yes, network issue. I think it is end. Professor Amit, can you please check with the guest distinguished speaker?
He's there.
Okay. Yeah, we could
No, you are
see
not
you.
audible. You are not
Yeah, you're
audible.
not audible, but we could see you, Mr. Amit Pandey.
There is some problem with your connection. I mean, audio
Yes,
connection.
sir. Saurabh,
Now
sir,
it's fine.
It's okay.
is he unmuted?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's fine now.
Sir, are we audible to you, Mr. Pandey? So we are not able to hear you. Professional with 14 years of experience in the field of talent management, talent engagement, and talent acquisition across IT, ITES, banking, insurance, and fintech sector, Mr. Vinay Trivedi believes uncertain times require unconventional approaches. To understand his startup journey of learn to unlearn and relearn, I would like to welcome Mr. Trivedi onto the platform to share his story with enthusiastic learners who have joined us today. So please.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me over here to meet with this vibrant set of students. And I must say that I'm the only outsider in the sense that I'm the only one from HR in an esteemed panel of impact creators. Very happy to be here today. I'll spend about 2 minutes talking about who we are and what do we do as an organization, but I'll spend about 8 minutes talking about how can the ecosystem for Atmanirbhar become more strong. What are the drivers, challenges, and definitely what are the pillars of strength? I'll definitely like to spend some time on that and hopefully ignite one or two minds to move in the entrepreneurial journey as we speak. Um, I come from a fintech startup called ToneTag. We are in very, very simple terms, we are an organization that does data transfer from point A to point B over sound wave through an encrypted technology. That's in very, very simple terms what we do. It's not as simple as it sounds, but essentially we are using sound waves to have data transfer from one point to another point. It could mean payments, it could mean shopping, it could mean inventory, it could mean multiple things. It could mean ticketing, it could mean multiple things. So use cases for this are many. And definitely, you should visit our website to understand a few use cases that we've put up there. I'd like to share my screen and do a short presentation. But my request to 153 people here is that this presentation is also, going to involve all of you in a few activities that we're going to do. And I'd want to use the chat window because I understand that everybody cannot unmute and speak to, bring in their responses and also do all activities along with me. So let me just share my screen. Yeah. Okay. When we talk of Atmanirbhar Bharat and we talk of how things are changing in our country, we need to understand the context first. And the context I present to all of you so that you understand where we are and what is it that we are doing right now. We live in a world that is overloaded with information, news, online learning, usage of words like unprecedented, unconventional. There's like a huge overload. I mean, you look at news channels today, they're more of soap operas than actually giving you information. They want to create an opinion of what they believe into the viewer's mind. But that's the world we live in, and we need to understand that there is overload. And how do we deal with that overload and how do we overcome with all of these things is what we'll also talk about as we move forward. Webinar. Who thought webinars are going to be the way forward 6 months back? There's certainly a fatigue in online learning. There's also FOMO. If you understand fear of missing out. For people like us, if I see somebody being invited to a webinar, I think, why am I not invited? So I, as a speaker, has a fear of missing out. Similarly, there are a lot of people who want to attend webinars. They want to go and attend online sessions. We've now reached a stage where we've gone through that peak of going through so many webinars, and now we want to see which ones we want to attend, which ones we don't want to attend. But that's the way world sort of, is changing. Predictions, I still find it pretty funny when people, make predictions on how the future of workplaces will change, or how the whole world will change, how life will change, when we had no idea how a pandemic could change things. So we still don't know what's going to come in future, but we still want to predict, we still want to prepare, we still want to talk about it as if we know everything, right? But this is the context, this is the world we are living in. We live in a world which is overloaded with information. We live in a world where people still want to predict despite not having complete knowledge, right? While I say this, there is a small activity that we're going to do, and let's sort of get there. I want all of you to stand up. You cannot be sitting in a lunch session on a webinar. I want everybody to stand up. So if you could stand up with me, I'll stand up as well. This activity would require you to stand up. So I want everybody to stand up. Yeah. So that applies to everybody. Dr. Ajay Kumar, that applies to all of you. Can you all stand up? Yes, all of you stand up, adjust your cameras, right? Turn on the volume. There is a small activity that we are doing. So you'll have to sort of make sure that the camera is looking at your face, and the ones who are off video, I want all of you to also get your videos on. This is a good activity, trust me, right? I'm just going to start this video, and I want all of you to, along with me, enjoy this video and sing if possible as well, okay? And sing with pride. Excellent. All of you can settle down. And this is for all the students. There is a very, very particular message that I will be giving at the end of this presentation of why this video is relevant and why this national anthem was required. While we do that, I'll sort of stop screen share and look at the chat window, and I want all of you to use the chat window to give a one-word reaction to what you felt when you, heard the national anthem today. All of you can use the chat window, and everybody, including faculty members, including guests, including students, everybody can, patriotic, refreshed, pride, goosebumps, okay. I'm waiting for more reactions. Surprise, yeah, very good. Proud, pride, yeah. Discipline and respect, okay, right. Peace, interesting. Let me go back to sharing my screen. There are more questions that I have, and there is more trivia. So my entire construct of today's presentation of how Atmanirbhar Bharat can become strong is basis certain fun trivia questions. I'm not going to give very heavyweight information or gyan to everybody, because the idea is that if we can ignite one or two of you, then GL Bajaj will consider this as a success for them because somebody is able to move that way. So that's the direction in which we are sort of moving. I'm sharing my screen. So a lot of you who were sitting and just, seeing something else on the phone, all the students, suddenly I'm sure you would have also stood up, and thank you for standing up and participating in this. Let's move to the next slide. Okay, some trivia. Okay, there's a tree that you all see. Can you tell me what tree it is and what is its significance in the Indian context? There's a tree that you all see. Use the chat window and tell me what is its relevance from an Indian context. Yes, Himanshi says it's banyan tree. Yes, it is. So it is banyan tree from an Indian context perspective. I would say rather Indian political context perspective also. Diversity, many cultures of India. Ecosystem. Arun, thanks for asking that question. More answers. What is its significance? Roots, deep rooted. All of us have same roots. This, and Arun actually asked the right question. This is our national tree. How many of you are aware that this is our national tree? For reasons that you guys have been writing on the chat window, it is a national tree because it's deep rooted. It is growing, evolving, changing because new roots keep coming and growing. In an Indian context, it says that India as a civilization is a perpetual or a continuously growing civilization. That's why this is called the national tree. And there's reason why I've put this up here, by the way, right? These trivias are not just to have fun or take a break in between this seminar, right? But this really is the national tree. Let's play more trivia. Okay. You only have 5 seconds to answer this question. Only 5 seconds. And I need all three there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Answers. Quickly, I need answers. 29, 6, 543, 28, 7, 28, 8, 11, 29, 7. While everybody is trying to answer this, some of you are trying to research. The very important point here for all of us to understand is we keep talking of things, but there's very little that we know about ourselves, of who we are, what we are, how is our diversity really. Answer is there for you on the screen. For Raki, you are close. The answer is there. Okay. Let's sort of play some more trivia. Okay. Next question's up. Quickly. We are in a university setup, so we should know this. Nalanda, excellent. Kolkata, Nalanda, somebody said Takshila, Himanshi. Takshila, Nalanda. Good. So I see the audience is now active and they're all involved in what is happening around. I'm very happy that everybody is participating, right? Takshashila was the first university in the world. And why I put this up again, this university was set up in 700 BC, where there were 10,500 students and 60 subjects were being taught. So when we talk of diversity, it is not just cultural diversity. We believed in 700 BC that we need to prepare people for different things to face the world. 60 subjects, including humanities, home science, social science, political science. They were like a whole host of subjects that were being taught. Right? Last question before I move to my last slide. Yes, Priyanka, it'll actually take 3 more minutes, not more than that.
It's okay. Thank you.
Kabaddi, chess, hockey. I've put up the answer for you guys. You know, even games that originated in India had a meaning, by the way. You know, snakes and ladder was originated to tell people how snakes signifies greed and ladder signifies growth. They were logic and rational to what we did and how we did, right? And it's critical to understand when we are moving away or moving into a zone of trying to see how the ecosystem for Atmanirbhar Bharat can really, you know, create an impact, right? Let's sort of drivers. You know, the drivers today, in my mind, there are 3 critical drivers. Young generation that exists, which is all of you. Technology, which is advancing very, very fast, and advancement opportunities. When I say advancement opportunities, all the crises that we've gone through, for example, demonetization, advanced digital payments in this country, or advanced the banking system for people to come into a certain sector. The pandemic, which, you know, people never thought that universities will have to run classes online. I mean, for more than students, the universities had to unlearn and relearn the ways and techniques to teach people today, right? So a lot of these opportunities have actually helped people, and they are going to be drivers in the next decade or so for us to get into the zone, which, you know, Mr. Indrajit Ghosh also was mentioning, number of industries coming up, etc., etc. But drivers are really these 3, right? Challenges. Okay. You know, when the national anthem was played, you felt a sense of pride. You need to feel that sense of pride each and every moment if you want to make an impact. And that is when Atmanirbhar Bharat will really become Atmanirbhar, right? As citizens, we all need to pride ourselves to who we are, right? Our attitude, right? Our attitude still is very, very submissive. It doesn't matter who says what. Why should you? अरे तुम क्यों इसमें पढ़ रहे हो? तुम्हारा क्या काम है? तुमको क्या करना है इसमें जाके? Multiple things that, you know, our attitude, you know, when teachers tell something, we'll say, "Arey sir, aap kyun bol rahe ho? हमें पता है क्या करना है." That is a big challenge. And the last one is we don't go deep enough. When I asked you a simple question, states, union territories, and one level down districts, right? We had no idea. We're all superficial. ऊपर ऊपर से हम सब देखते हैं. सब कुछ ऊपर ऊपर से करना है. Right? That's a huge challenge that we have. These are 3 very critical challenges, which if you guys are able to consciously overcome, it'll definitely help, you know, all of you. The last one is, you know, pillars of support bahut hai yaar. Agar aap kuch karna chaho, there are a lot of people who are willing to help, including government functionaries, including people's aspirations. Today, when you tell you're working in a startup, you're respected way more than you would have been respected if you would have said that 10 years back or 15 years back. They would say, why don't you work in a public sector organization? Why aren't you, you know, getting into a good, safe job? But today, people's aspirations also are changing. So that's going to be a great pillar of support. Right? These were just very, very few things that I thought I should share with all of you. And I'll definitely take some questions towards the end of the session. Thank you. Back to Priyanka.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for this interactive session. And on behalf of GL Bajaj, please accept this memento as token of our thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Recipient of National Award for Women Entrepreneurs 2016, Ms. Sneha Sikia has organized supper tables, pop-ups to showcase Assamese and other northeastern state cuisines in various restaurants and hotels in Delhi NCR. She has been featured in various blogs and print media like Economic Times, Hindu, Indian Express, Asian Age, and Times of India. Presently, along with food events, she is doing workshops of live demo of cuisines of Northeast. I would like to welcome Ms. Sneha Sikia to address our delegates and students. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Before starting, I want to thank Dr. Ajay Kumar to invite me and to share my experience as a chef, because my line is completely different from all the other distinguished guests. So I want to share my story, my journey, how I started, so that the students get inspired, or meanwhile I share my story, they can get the ideas, how they can also do startups and how they can do their business or join or expand their family business. So food is my passion, and I started my food journey through my passion only. I never thought that it will be my business, or I will extract revenue from it. So I started my passion by organizing pop-ups. So if you are new to the word pop-up, it means to showcase my cuisine, because in Delhi I felt that my cuisine is not much explored. So, and people had misconceptions. So that's how I started my pop-ups in different restaurants. I started with one of my friends' restaurant, and then I got a very good response. People liked my food, and that's how the five-star hotels and other restaurants started inviting me. And this is sixth year now doing my pop-ups and all. And now renowned chefs, they ask me to join them and do a combined pop-ups with them. And I have done many. I did with Uttarakhand cuisine, and making a menu with our Assamese and Uttarakhand with a very renowned chef Pawan Bisht, and that's how I started. So I used the social media, Facebook and Instagram. People make fun of me that you're saying you're on Facebook. I said yes. Through Facebook, I got a very good business. I started connecting with people, with the world, and that's how I got invitation from Nepal and from Ireland. So last year I went to Ireland in Dublin. I did a week-long food fest, and I showcased my Indian cuisine, that is Assamese cuisine, and the Irish people really loved it. So through that, that happened through the Facebook and through Instagram only. And during this pandemic, during this lockdown, nothing was happening. I mean, physically, we could not go anywhere. We were inside. And I also got, initially I was under depression. But then I myself came out of the depression and I started online classes. Initially, I started on my own, and then various platforms invited me for online classes. And those were later, those were with the revenue basis. So I was getting payment for the classes. And then I got the idea with Zoom. So I used Zoom for my own personal classes. I started teaching students, I charge, and that's how I'm getting the revenue business. So, that's how you can use internet or this virtual world for your business. And okay. And then, I have also guided many people who were, not very financially sound. And then I thought I did it voluntarily. I thought, why not, share my ideas to start their business and all. So I started giving trainings to underprivileged people, how they can, start their business through food. So I taught them to bottle them, if they are making achar, how to bottle them and how to use the internet. I helped them, even they're not so educated, but then still I use the internet. I taught them how to use the Facebook, and how you can make a page and you can sell it through your Facebook and Instagram and all. And that's how I have helped many women. I'm still doing it. And I am also associated with the fashion industry. So with the fashion industry, I'm from Assam. I come from a very interior village, and there weavers are there who are not getting opportunity. So before this pandemic, I used to help them to start their weaving business. I used to pay them and buy from them, and then I used to host trunk shows and all, and sell their products. So in this pandemic, I cannot physically go, but then they are parceling me, and I am, it's not, in this pandemic, it's not a much good business, but still I'm trying to help them. So food wise, now we have started. I mean, last year when I was there, I've got award also from GL Bajaj for my first startup, Table for Six. So I want to mention about my Table for Six here. It's a concept of weekly lunch. So before the pandemic, I used to invite, I used to charge people for 6 seats because my table has 6 seats. So I started this startup, Table for Six luncheon for the weekends. And that's how, I started getting this good business. But now in this pandemic, I haven't started yet. So the same menu, I have started home deliveries. There are various, apps and various delivery systems in this pandemic also. They have also grown up. So I'm using those and I've started the home deliveries. That's how I'm continuing my passion and also my business. So I think I will not extend it to a very long speech, but I think students are, they got nice ideas with my story. And I must say that, I am successful, whatever I have started. Although the little negative side, it is slow, but I have got success. I have used the internet, the social media platform as my business, and I'm really, really successful in it. And today, I don't need to approach people. People are approaching me, and then, for the table also, they're asking me, when are you going to start next? Very soon I'm going to start next, but then they want my food. They have also asked me to, start bottling for my sauces and whatever I make. So I must say that I have got a huge success in this. So thank you so much. And I am ready to answer all your queries.
Thank you, ma'am. Indeed, students will be inspired by your story. On behalf of GL Bajaj, please accept this memento as token of our thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think Mr. Amit Pandey has joined us back. Sir, I hope you are here and ready with your presentation.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. I hope I'm audible now.
Yes, yes, clearly.
Okay, guys, I'm so sorry. I think my laptop is having some malfunction and it just got restarted. I hope it will start right now again. Great. I was watching the, Vinay, thank you. Thank you so much. You made all of us to stand up and, feel was called triple eight theory, key theory, count theory. When I try to, motivate, inspire, and make people to do something what they have never thought of doing it. So one of my most popular theory is called cricket theory. Very powerful theory. And most of the time in our life, we try to give excuses why things are not, happening in my life. So when we go to the college, we try to say college अच्छा नहीं मिला नहीं तो हम पता नहीं क्या करें. When we get into a corporate world, as boss बढ़िया नहीं मिला, अगर boss बढ़िया मिल जाता तो हम corporate में पक्का successful. A lot of time we keep telling what has not happened, and we keep looking towards the things which are basically outside of it. So cricket theory tells in a very, very hilarious way that why all the problems in this world, the only person responsible for those problems is called you. What I called is there are 3 most important people in your life who will drive you towards the success, or who will make you crazy, who will make you lazy, who will say not to do anything, and they are called I, me, and myself. So let's watch this cricket video. Just a sec, let me just see if I can share. I hope you guys can see the screen and audio. Please start.
Yeah. प्रॉब्लम ढूंढ रहे होते। मुझे बहुत सारे लोग मिलते कहते सर कॉलेज अच्छा नहीं मिला, नहीं तो पता नहीं क्या कर लेते, सर कंपनी बढ़िया नहीं मिली, नहीं तो पता नहीं क्या कर लेते। आपको पता है कॉलेज और कॉर्पोरेट क्या है? लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड दिस मैटर। एक लड़का गया क्रिकेट खेलने के लिए, पहली बार, बहुत बड़ा लड़का गया क्रिकेट खेलने, चलो भाई क्रिकेट खेलते। पहली बॉल आई, उसने फेस की, उसने बॉल को ऊपर आया, उसने बॉल पे शॉट मारा, कैच हो गया। लौट गया, पहली गई 0 पे आउट। उसके दोस्तों ने पूछा क्या हुआ? अरे पता नहीं यार, पिच में अनियमित सा बाउंस है, बॉल एकदम से ऊपर। अरे कोई बात नहीं भाई, कोई बात नहीं, हार्ड लगा, नेक्स्ट टाइम के बढ़िया से शॉट मारा उसने, लॉफ्ट कैच, बाउंड्री में कैच। अब क्या हुआ यार, देखो खिलाड़ी वहां लगा रखा है, अरे थोड़ा सा एडजस्टमेंट कर लेते, इधर पर लगा देते, चौका छक्का चला जाता। अरे कोई बात नहीं भाई, कोई बात नहीं, तीसरे वाले में तो आपको मजा आ जाएगा, क्योंकि ये बाकी जगह तो बताना पड़ता है, यूपी में नहीं बताना पड़ेगा। तीसरी बात बहुत थोड़ी नीची रहेगी, और वो भाई साहब बोल्ड हो गए। जब आए तो लोगों ने पूछा अब क्या हुआ? अब सोचिए वो आदमी प्रॉब्लम कहां देख रहा है? पिच में, बॉलर में, फील्डिंग में, प्रॉब्लम है कहां? हम प्रॉब्लम कहां देखते हैं? कॉलेज में, कैंटीन में, खाना नहीं अच्छा बनता, सुबह सुबह कॉलेज। हम कहां देख रहे हैं? हमको कहां देखना है? अपने अंदर देखना है। मैं आपको बहुत सिंपल सी बात बता दूं, जितने आपको ये महान टाइप के लोग दिखते हैं ना, इनकी पीछे इनपुट पे जाना तो पता चलेगा कि इन्होंने कितना रगड़ा मारा है। इनके माइंडसेट की जो सोच है, जो पहुंच है, वो कितनी ज्यादा पावरफुल है। अमिताभ बच्चन जी एक शूटिंग कर रहे थे, विनोद खन्ना जी 1 घंटे लेट आए। मुंबई के एक जगह पे जहां शूटिंग चल रही थी, बहुत भद्दर लगी थी, वो धूप में बैठे थे, कोई न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ रहा था, उनके पसीना निकल रहा था। विनोद खन्ना जी आया, बोला अरे दादा आप यहाँ बैठे हो जी, देखो यार पसीना, अंदर आ जाओ। कहते कहाँ पसीना? उन्होंने कहा कोई बात नहीं। कहते आपको पता ही नहीं चला आपको पसीना लग रहा है? कहते विनोद जी मैं यहाँ काम करने आया हूँ, पसीना और बारिश देखने नहीं आया। शायद इसलिए वो आदमी आज बिग के नाम से जाना जाता है। शायद इसलिए वो आदमी, आपको पता है उनके पिताजी का नाम क्या था? हरबंस बच्चन। उनके बेटे का नाम हरबंस बच्चन। दोनों अपने आप में सेलिब्रिटी हैं। बट जब कभी मुझे ऐसा लगता है, मेरी अपनी सोच है, हो सकता है दोनों बहुत बड़े सेलिब्रिटी मान लेते हैं कि दुनिया में मुझे एक ही शख्स ऐसा दिखता है जिसके पिता को भी उसके नाम से जाना जाता है, जिसके बेटे को भी उसके नाम से जाना जाता है। उसको किया होगा उन्होंने, उसको किया होगा ऐसा, वो नहीं दिखता लोगों को। उन्होंने इनपुट क्या किया होगा, उन्होंने मेहनत क्या की होगी, उन्होंने क्या मेहनत की है, क्या रगड़ा मारा है, क्या टफ जीवन व्यतीत किया, वो कोई नहीं देखता है। रामायण में जब तक भगवान राम महल में रहे तब तक राजकुमार राम कहलाए। जब 14 साल वनवास काट के वापस आए तो पुरुषों में उत्तम पुरुषोत्तम भगवान श्री राम कहलाए। ये मैं आपको क्यों बता रहा हूं? कल आपके पास 2 चॉइसेस आएंगी। एक, आपको फील्ड में सेल्स की जॉब है, दूसरी ऑफिस में एसी की जॉब है, और आप गलती करोगे और आप एसी की जॉब सेलेक्ट करोगे। मत करना, क्योंकि आज जो पसीना आप बहाओगे वो कल वापस दुनिया देखेगी, और यही कॉलेज आपको 10 साल 15 साल बाद बुलाएगा कि आकर के मेरे यहाँ कैसे लेक्चर देके चले जाओ। That's the power of success. That's the way how we have to build our personality. अब मैं एक चीज की तो गारंटी दे देता हूं, अगर आपका माइंडसेट अलग है, अगर आपका माइंडसेट यूनिक है, तो इससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है। कंपनी आएगी, आपको सिलेक्ट करेंगी और लेकर के चली जाएंगी, और अगर नहीं लेके जाती है तो ये उनकी प्रॉब्लम है, मेरी नहीं।
I think this is very, in a very simple Hindi language. Okay, the point what I want to tell you all that the moment you start building up the power inside you, we all have that hidden energy inside us. I have discovered that. I have done BTech from HBTI Kanpur, and somehow I couldn't afford so-called the management. पैसे भी नहीं थे और कैलिबर भी नहीं था. बड़ी मुश्किल से ही अपने से BTech हुई थी. But I think the point what I'm just trying to explain to all of you is that more and more you focus towards yourself, maybe you will be able to discover something that is called the hidden energy inside. And after that, you can go to the corporate world, or you can think about starting off any idea, anything. We are a bunch of investors, a lot of companies. We work with a lot of companies, a lot of startup companies to fund them through a business loan in terms of whether it's a PE or VC funding or different kind of funding. The idea is basically to promote people to start their own thought, to start their own business. But for that, you should have a different personality. And the moment you start building that confidence, and that is how the Super 77 has started. We are just trying to build so in last, I think 1.5 months, we have transformed around 600 students. There are 9 powerful speakers. You go to LinkedIn, you see there are around 400 different posts what people have done, because their personality got transformed. I still believe that, I still remember that when we started Super 77, through the digital platform on the live sessions, students were not able to even speak. They were not even able to, give their introduction properly. And today they do the corporate deal. They talk to the CHROs, they talk to the big companies. And most of them, when they call me and they say, "Yaar, aapki team badi powerful hai. You have groomed them really well." Then I have to tell them that they all are still students. They're still studying in MBA, and they are doing their second year MBA. So that's how it doesn't matter. I don't think you require 5 years, 10 years to learn a skill. Why can't you start learning that skill at this moment? And it's just a matter of time, preponing the skills and trying to learn everything what you can learn in future. Today, the last line, the message, what I have seen, people are getting worried because of COVID that their job is at risk. So because you are getting worried and you are not preparing for the future. So stop worrying for the future, start preparing for the future. You don't know what will happen with your future, but one thing I can assure you, that you will get much more than what you deserve in your life. Miracles will happen the moment you come out of your comfort zone. With this thought, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you so much for being a patient audience. You can ask the questions or whatever. Thank you so much, Priyanka.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Quite an interactive session, and very rightly said, stop worrying for the future and start preparing for the future. That's nice message to pass on to the students who worry so much. Kindly accept on behalf of GL Bajaj, please accept this momentous token of our thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Devendra Jatav has been associated with Government of India in various capacities for past 38 years. Currently, he is Assistant Director of Training with Government of India. Unfortunately, due to some unavoidable official commitment, Mr. Jatav could not attend the session, but to inspire us with his words, he has sent his video message.
Video.
So should we start with questions, Dr. Mittal, in case it is taking some time to download or something? I can start off with the questions. Dr. Mittal, should I start with the questions? It will save some time.
Priyanka ma'am, please.
Yes, ma'am,
start.
please.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Sir, we have few questions from our delegates and especially from the students. And this question is addressed to Mr. G. Srinivasan. Sir, should I ask the question? I hope you are still with us. Okay, you are. Sir, please unmute Mr. Srinivasan. So the question is, without physical presence of audience in the stadium, does it pose any threat to the advertiser when it comes to, investing for the advertising? Is it leading to some kind of revenue losses?
Is that the question?
Yes. Is it
Of
leading
course.
to some revenue losses?
Absolutely, absolutely. If you look at sports overall globally, ticket revenue contributes to close to about 20 to 30%, depending on the franchise, on the club. Like if you look at places like Manchester United, they contribute about at least 25 to 30%. If you look at the IPL in India, they contribute close to about 10% right now, because ticketing is, I mean, in India, most people want everything free. Other than IPL, I don't think most other sports have monetized ticket revenue. So for an advertiser, they want their brand to be to have multiple engagement points. Otherwise, you can just take ads on television, which is exactly what is happening now. But when people come to the stadium, they do a lot of activities in terms of engagement and activation along with with the people who come in the stadium, which is why brands are associated with tournaments like the IPL, etc. So yes, from a revenue loss perspective, it's about 10% in India for the franchise. For an advertiser, the loss is much more, because they lose an opportunity to engage with the audience. So I think that's a far bigger thing than revenue per se. I mean, the loss of opportunities to engage and activate with the consumer.
Right, sir. Thank you. We have one question for Mr. Vinay Trivedi, and the students want to know how to save themselves from the information overload which is happening around. Sir, please unmute Mr. Trivedi. Saurabh sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I've started doing this. I just watch news for 5 minutes in a day. I've turned off notifications on my phone from all news applications. I consciously do not spend more than 5 minutes just to glance through news. Start doing that, you will automatically start reducing your overload of information that is there. That really helped me, and I can share that as a tip with all of you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. The next question is for Mr. Amit Pandey, and the student especially wants to know what will be your kind advice for young entrepreneurs or the ones who want to launch their startup once they pass out from the college. What are the characteristics they should develop in themselves, or the skill set they should develop in themselves?
Yeah, so I think a lot of skills, but I would, if you ask me only one skill, what I want you all to develop is called thought clarity. I have seen a lot of people, a lot of students, they are just like a very confused mindset. And there is a very popular saying that it's always better to walk with a clear thought rather than running with a confused mind. So I think if you are zeroing down the kind of the activities what you want to do, build up your thought clarity. Building up thought clarity means, I think Vinay has given a wonderful answer to that, is that stop getting trapped into so-called the negativity or commercialization, which is happening across digital media. Okay, you are, the moment you are started, you are actually getting attracted towards all these negativity happening around, your mind will become, I would say your mind will become corrupt, because it's a junk food what people are supplying, for your mind. सो गांधी जी की पुरानी थ्योरी है और बहुत पावरफुल थ्योरी है कि गांधी जी के 3 बंदर हैं, कहते हैं कि ना बुरा देखो, ना बुरा सुनो, ना बुरा बोलो. So I think that's a simple one-liner mantra for all of you. Come out of so-called this negativity, because a positivity takes the birth only when there is no negativity. Come out of this model of getting trapped with negativity, negative news, talking about only things which are going to disturb all of you. Come out of that and start thinking something with a very, very fresh mind. Let me restart. Let me restart my life. Let me restart my mindset. And then see that things with a lot of positivity and a lot of optimism. So I think it's, if you ask me one thing is thought clarity. Just build the thought.
Great, great. Thank you so much. Our next question is for Sneha ma'am, and the students wants to know, I wanted to ask, it's written by Himanshi. I wanted to ask that during this pandemic, the online food delivery business is facing some issues. Then how to cope up with such a situation and maintain that mutual trust among the customers?
I don't think there is any issue. In fact, lots of new delivery apps have started during this pandemic only, and food business, the home deliveries and all, it's really started and it really boomed up in this pandemic. I really don't think that there is any issue. If there is any particular issue, please let me know. I can, revert back. Otherwise, there are lots and lots of new delivery system have started, and I think in this pandemic only, food business, especially the home delivery, has really boomed up. And there are also ideas. I've seen few women who have hired, individual boys, because unemployment is there. We have to accept it. Lots of people have lost their job. There are boys, with their bikes, they have started, this service personally, and without any apps, without any service offices and all, individually they've started delivering food, and women have started engaging those boys with them for the food delivery. So I really don't think there is any I mean, hindrance or something like that. If there is any particular issue, then please let me know.
Sure, ma'am. And then there is one more question for Amit sir. It's written by a student called Raktim. How to be a confident public speaker? Now, he must be impressed with your video and he wanted to understand more in public speaking context.
Okay, so Raktim, to become a public speaker or even a speaker, I think it's all about practice. It's all about more and more practice what you do, because these are the things, these are the skills, very difficult to learn. The only thing is what you can do is learn and practice, learn and practice. As I told you that when I started my job, I didn't know how to speak English. So then I realized when I was working with Honda as a purchasing manager, executive, a lot of companies, CEOs and all these people used to come, Japanese and American, and I used to speak like, yes, yes, okay, okay, bye, bye, take care, see you tomorrow. I used to speak those kind of English language. Then I started practicing. It took me 8 months for daily 1 hour to read English newspaper in front of mirror. So I used to read the newspaper and I used to speak while reading. So I didn't used to read in my mind. I used to study, read and speak, read and speak. So that's called speaking. I started talking in small groups. I was very confident while talking in Hindi, but I was very, you can say, a very low confident guy when it comes to speak in English. But when you keep doing a lot of practice, then slowly you build up that confidence. Public speaking is all about the confidence. If you are able to build a confidence, so right now, I think you should not focus towards the public speaking. You should focus only on building the confidence and getting your thoughts very clear. Then only you can become a very powerful extempore speaker. And practice makes a man perfect. Very powerful statement. I don't know whether you have heard this story or not, but somebody was taking the interview of Sachin Tendulkar and he asked that, Sachin, what is your day looks like when you made 100 in the last match, or you got out 0 in the last match? How these 2 days are different? Sachin says that there is no difference. My days start that every day on the nets, I have to face 500 balls. कल मैंने सेंचुरी मारी है या 0 पे आउट हुआ, doesn't make difference. My day start with 500 balls to be faced on net. Now, that's the reason why people call him as a Sachin, because practice. There is no alternate of the practice. So you keep doing the practice. There is a flood of knowledge. There is a flood of everything which is coming. And people are thinking that I'm getting so much of knowledge. Knowledge is not the power. Trust me, knowledge is not the power. Implementation of that knowledge is called power. You take one knowledge and implement it. That is a power. You have 100 knowledge, but you have implemented 0. It's useless. Whatever we are talking today, people will come, people will speak, a lot of people will speak. Today, you will have those thought process in your mind. After 2-3 days, you will be back to your situation. You will be back to your comfort zone. All these entire 1 hour, 2 hours efforts of everybody will go waste. Some of you may think about it and start thinking how to change your personality from today. So I think practice, practice, and practice.
Right. Thank you so much. Practice makes a man perfect. So this question is for Mr. G. Srinivasan in terms of sports industry students would like to understand. How can we make possible vocal for local campaigns successful? Although we can see local products are very expensive for our Indian middle society, middle class society, she wants to say, I guess. And how it will change the scenario if it is possible in the future? Is it possible to make products produced locally and in a cheaper cost, especially in terms of sports industry?
If I'm assuming the question is on sports goods, right?
Right.
So it is possible. It is possible. Absolutely. I work for a company like Nike, and when we launched the first Indian cricket jersey, it was priced at 2,500 rupees. I was part of that team, which screamed and shouted, saying that it's not going to sell in India, right? And now Nike, after so many years, have withdrawn that contract with the BCCI. Indians are very price conscious. The companies like Adidas, Puma, etc., do more manufacturing. I mean, their manufacturing of local to import is about 75-25 or 70-30, whereas companies like Nike manufacture about 75% out of India, which is why the import duties on these products are very high. For example, the moment a shoe enters India, the landed cost, I mean, if the price of the shoe is 100, it becomes 172 as soon as it hits the Indian shores. So the import duty is really high, and considering all these are listed companies outside India, profitability is very, very important to all of them. And if profitability is important, they would want those margins. In India, I guess what we lack is that technology. All these companies invest millions and millions of dollars in technology every year. For India, we make a lot of products which are, say, chalta hai. Not all manufacturers, but I mean, we have the football in the ISL is an Indian brand, right? It's Nivea. I mean, when I started playing football as a kid, the first football shoe I wore was Nivea. I think as more and more Indian brands invest a lot in technology and make our products at least closer to what the Western counterparts do, we will do a lot better in terms of in apparel. We're almost there, but in terms of footwear and equipment, we still have some way to go.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And I would like to say once again, thank you to Mr. G. Srinivasan, Dr. Indrajit Ghosh, who has already left the meeting, Mr. Amit Pandey, Mr. Vinay Trivedi, Ms. Neha Sikia, and Mr. Devendra Jadhav for sending his video message. Do we have Professor Amit among us to formally extend a thank you note to all our distinguished speakers today? Dr. Amit?
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Priyanka. I extend my heartfelt thanks to each distinguished guest who have taken time to attend this special session. To begin with, I would like to extend my heartily, thankfulness to Mr. Indrajit Ghosh. He has rightly, said about that it's a golden time for startups. He has, aptly, explained about how India has, become the largest supplier for PP kits. And this has happened only when pandemic forced India to be self-reliant. So self-reliant, that's Atmanirbhar is the mantra. And that's a theme for today's startup also. Coming to Mr. Amit Pandey, I extend my heartily thankfulness to him as well for sharing his valuable insights. I know he's a dynamic personality. I have been knowing him personally also. So apart from this pin cap, he was previously CEO of Exim, and he has recently started a very innovative, business model involving the students, the youth of India, called Super 77, and he's doing miraculously into this field. And he as he correctly said, he has been known for his motivating skills, and the name which the students and people have given him is Human Charger. So he's doing a wonderful job. We are also looking forward for some kind of collaboration that so that our student can also get benefited out of that. Right. And now coming to Mr. Srinivasanji, sir, I extend my thankfulness to you as well for explaining and sharing your valuable insights about how sports has become an important area, both as a career opportunity and for arena for new business horizons. So thank you so much, sir. And as discussed with Ms. Savita, we are also looking forward for an exclusive session with you, wherein you can deliver upon your ideas with our students about sports. So we'll looking forward to welcome you into some of our activities conducted through our sports club.
Absolutely, sir.
Right. I also extend my heartful thankfulness to Mr. Vinay Trivedi, the second startup summit. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.